Welcome, and the 3-day cycle system seems to be working well. I'm watering them quite heavily, and it lasts 3 days without anything drying up. Now, see, that one is starting to droop. It's still fairly heavy, but 3 days production every 3 days gives me a green smoothie every day. And one of these trays basically keeps my green smoothie cycle going on a daily basis. Harvest time. Not really seeing any decaying microgreens from the previous batch, which I chopped and dropped onto the surface of the soil. And that's important because I don't want the decaying microgreens from the previous batch to get into the food product that I'm harvesting right now, which is this. So this is what I'm trying to avoid, is that decaying vegetable matter getting caught up in the food product. You can see this, I don't know if it's even going to focus. All right, that's a harvest. $210 total for this batch. And that is the prize. Last time I think I had 270 grams. That was too much. That was more than I needed. And I can adjust the weight of the harvest by measuring the amount of seed that I seed every time. All right, it's time to mow the vegetation down to the soil level. Okay, so I tried to do a really good job of mowing the vegetative matter down to the soil level. I guess there are still some things sticking up, and now I have this big pile of waste or vegetative matter, and my choices are chop and drop or chop and compost. So I'm going to try again to just chop and drop. In other words, leave the debris in the tray, spread it out, and but my other option, if this turns out not to work, is to remove it and put it in the compost. 50 grams of broccoli seed. And that is the seed. So by lifting this tray, I can tell there's still quite a bit of water. I will spray some water on it, and then that should be good enough. Okay, I still need to cover that one that I just seeded up, but here's the next one. You can see that's come up. Okay, so I do notice problems here. There is mold, a place where the plants did not grow, and that seems to be the only spot, but let's try to figure out. It's basically a mold that has killed the sprouts in this area. I'm going to continue to grow this. I probably won't eat it, but the thing to note is this is extremely wet, overwatered, and that was a chop and drop, I believe. I'm not seeing a lot of debris down there, so maybe not. My guess is that it was overwatered. So this is the 3-day-old. And that definitely was chop and drop. Let me pull it out. Okay, there is mold starting to form through much of this tray. And this is 3 days in, and it's a chop and drop. So I think that based on this observation, I either have to use less water initially, or I have to chop and compost and not leave that extra plant debris in the tray. Okay, well, I think I'm learning that chop and drop is probably not the greatest idea, and I also need to limit the amount of water that I use, at least in the early stages when they're out in this stage here. That's okay, because they're kind of drying off fairly quickly. And here is my culinary herb sale tray that's doing pretty well. Thank you for watching.